It's time for us to collect ourselves. That's great. I have some new viewers in the
I
chat.
am I am uncollected.
Uncollected? Well, you need to hurry up and get to your seat because we got to get ourselves collected.
No.
Well, too bad. You're already in your seat, at least according to the podcast.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So, hello and welcome to the Kino Korner, where we talk about news, trailers, and only the best in movies from a certain point of view. Today I have with me my brother, the Hatchet Down himself.
Hello, brother.
Yes, hello, brother. And today we're going to be talking about, as you can see from the bottom right, from console to silver screen. Our main topic later on will be about just video game movies. We'll just shoot a shit about our favorites, or maybe just ones we want to shit on. There's a lot, but
Indeed, there is. We can do quite the shitting between us, can't we?
oh, very much shitting. In fact, I had Taco Bell for lunch.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm sorry. I didn't prepare as well as you. I'm sorry. I didn't take this very seriously.
Oh, you think I took it seriously? I had Taco Bell for lunch.
And before we even get started, I have to say I am incredibly disappointed. I was made to believe that this reserved chair was for me specifically.
That is okay. Yes, that is something I do want to address. It was brought up last week. Normally, I have a co-host, the Kittyman 9000. He is kind of they're going through some life events right now, so he for a time stepping away from the Kino Corner. So, as mentioned in the last episode, going forward. Oh wait. Oh yeah. I I thought for a second they couldn't hear me, but I'm muted. Yes, yeah. Going forward, it'll be me, sometimes me alone, but as often as I can, just me and a guest. And hello, Queen Cassie. Yes, I see you.
Excellent. Well, I'm sorry to hear about your co-host, but let him know that rest assured his chair is still warm, and I am not disturbed by the warmth.
Oh, no, yeah, of course, his seat will always be kept warm. He's doing fine. It's just stuff in his life he's got to deal with. Um, with what, I guess to roll straight into it. The first thing, I guess I want to talk about movie news first. At first, admittedly, going into this in preparation, there wasn't a lot. But as we'll talk about later, Netflix just decided to drop a whole bunch of shit. But before we go into that, there is some other news that came out. Oh yeah, Griffin's here too, you nerd. Uh, I don't know if I don't even know if I told you about this one. Maybe I did. Apparently, Keanu Reeves is going to be Constantine. Oh, thank you for the follow.
uh,
He is going to be Constantine in a sequel. That old video, a little clip of him. I think it was on Stephen Colbert's talk show. I don't even remember whose it was, where he mentioned he'd want to do it again, and the host warned him, "Beware when you say this, it's gonna happen." And he's like, "I could do John Constantine again." Here we fucking are.
I mean, honestly, I feel like Keanu Reeves can say he wants to be anything, and they'll make it a reality. If he wants to be Santa Claus, next Christmas he will be Santa Claus.
Yes, he. There was a time where I thought Keanu Reeves was just going to be the action movie version of Nicolas Cage, but I think at some point he's decided, nah, let's tone it down and actually try. And holy shit, here we are, one John Wick later.
Now this is excellent news, but I'm honestly more concerned of whether uh, Peter Stormare will reprise his role as Lucifer.
Ooh, now that is a good question. I do know, and oh, yes, I guess we are doing wonderful. Sorry if I miss some of the talking directly to the audience. But yeah,
This isn't about them. This is about
yeah.
me. I am the guest.
Yeah, well, I'm the host. He's the co-host. This is our show. But but no, the I do know a friend of mine. He holds that portrayal of Lucifer is one of the most accurate and best portrayals of Lucifer in media because of the fact that portrayal isn't directly evil. He's just kind of he is a more of a neutral force that everyone perceives as evil.
A bureaucrat.
Yeah, bureaucrat.
He's concerned about where certain things are filed and whether or not they're filed correctly.
Yes.
Like, no, you are supposed to be in the hell file, not the heaven file.
Like in the last scene where he's dragging on the towel, like, come now, come on, Constantine, your taxes are due.
No, I will not be. I will not. I will not put up with these loopholes.
Truth be told, there isn't a lot to aside from just general hype of what could be. We don't know a lot about who's going to be in it, like who, other than of course Keanu Reeves is going to be Constantine. But we don't.
Is it? You know what it is? Is I've heard rumors that it's going to be about Constantine shrinking himself down and getting into a little submarine to fight a bodily injury of some sort, a disease, if you will. And it's going to be called Constantine 2, the Constantinier.
I thought you were going to say Constantine too, constipated.
Constipated.
He fights the
90
shit
minutes
demon.
straight of Keanu Reeves grunting on the toilet.
He starts
Somehow somehow he makes it look serene.
he channels all of his other roles. He just kill my fucking dog.
Oh man. Wait a minute.
Yes, but yeah, again, not much to say about that other than it is for sure happening for now. This is one of those projects that's been in limbo. I am happy that it's happening, and if something happens, I'll report on it. But as of now, they've gotten far, and it's seemingly locked in. But
You know you say that, but like many projects, they can just be written off at a loss at a moment's notice and
release
never see the
Coyote
light of
versus
day again.
Acme.
Exactly, 100%. It's like that. There was a movie some time ago called Fanboys, and it had a lot of people in it that you would think that this would be it. It was produced before they got really famous. Who
Mhm.
else? Who was in Fanboys? Seth Rogen, Dan Fogler, Kristen Bell. A lot of the people from what's it called? Freaks and Geeks were in that movie, and it
Okay.
was produced. And then for years, it would just show up as a trailer for something coming up soon, and it ended up getting released something crazy like 10 years past when it was actually produced.
I thought you were going to say the movie never was ever released for a second. I was like, wait a minute. I swear I've seen that movie that came out. I didn't know that history. That's
It took way too long for them to ever actually release it, and I think that for some reason they were embarrassed by it. I mean, it wasn't a great movie, so I guess in some some way it was embarrassing, but not so embarrassing that you had to wait to release it. It probably would have been funnier if it would have been released before
yeah.
at the time where it was somewhat topical, but no.
Oh
Anyway, I'm sorry.
no, you're good.
Go ahead.
Before I move on to the next slide, I do want to mention I didn't make a slide for it, but
Sam, we talked about this.
there's a trailer that came out. I didn't make a slide for it, but I want to point out, just address it because
I know what this is already. It's Popeye. It's Popeye with Will Smith, isn't it?
no, it's the Apprentice.
Oh, yeah, I knew that too.
It's only going to be a brief touch on it because I don't, but and I want to judge it from this perspective of a moviegoer. I don't want to get political with it. There's a lot there. Some of it's funny, some of it's kind of, but as a movie, it looks fine. But a lot of the draw is the political stuff.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I
That is literally the only reason that it's being produced right now.
yeah, I think I'm gonna treat this movie the same way I treated that Civil War movie that came out.
Yes, Glory, one of the best movies of all time.
No, the one that's already just called Civil War that came out like a few months ago.
Oh,
I
okay.
I refused to see that movie in theaters because it was glorifying to me just the division in the U.S. at a horrible time. It's like I'm not going to give this
Mm,
film a cent for that. Like if it came out years earlier, like a decade earlier, maybe, but
yeah.
not. Like, and to be as fair and impartial, The Apprentice as a movie looks fine. I am
Yes.
personally not going to see it, but as someone who wants to bring up movie news, I'm just like that movie exists. Look for the trailer when I post this to YouTube. I will likely include it in the playlist of trailers we talk about, just for those who want to see it, but don't expect any more major discussion about it.
Yeah. What I will say is, just having seen the trailer alone, I can appreciate the casting of Roy Cohn, and that's about it. That's all I can say. This is one of those things that, rather than watch it right now and be affected by the current political atmosphere, I'll wait until something happens, like I don't know. The former president is found belly up on a golf course at the age of 98, probably.
All right, and with that, and with
And at
that,
that point, knowing that I will no longer be biased toward this film, I will watch it.
all right. And with that, let's move on to more pleasant things. So, as mentioned, there was a Geeked Week with Netflix. There's a lot of like new shows, new seasons, new projects, or things coming to Netflix. Too much to talk about. If I made a slide for every single one, this would be another like 4 hour fucking episode. So I narrowed it down to the ones that I'm like, these are the ones that I want to talk about. Um,
This is a good idea, since we tried to watch it while we were doing our own at-home Korean barbecue, and we sadly lost 6 ribs to being distracted by it.
yeah, like there is a lot, and there is a lot for everybody. Like there's a new season of Cobra Kai. I haven't watched that, but like n- new season of Squid Game, which we already talked about last week. We already talked about a new season of Arcane or last episode. There's stuff there that we've already talked about, or I don't have enough of an insight on to provide information. But I encourage you to look up all of the trailers, all of the news and announcements for Netflix's Geeked Week for all the stuff that will not be covered because
Indeed.
there is good stuff. There is like
Yes,
I
banter included.
yes. One thing that will be covered, Toph's feet pics. I mean the trailer for uh, Avatar: The Last
Wow.
Airbender. I'm
Wow, you
sorry,
degenerate.
no. Netflix knows they're catering to degenerates. Like you saw the trailer they did for reveal like the Netflix season 2 is happening. Here's Toph's feet.
I did, but I legitimately didn't even consider that angle until you said that.
I know.
Let me
Like
just go ahead and put this on watch later. Anyway, go
yeah.
ahead.
The only reason I do is like let's just say I know people. But the
I
internet,
too, unfortunately, know other humans.
yeah, the internet is a cursed, horrible place. But so I still have yet to watch the Avatar: Last Airbender live action season 1. The consensus I have heard is it's flawed, but overall fine.
Fine, period. That's
Y-
the rating. Fine, period.
yeah, not great, not awful. It's just Avatar again, which
Serviceable.
yeah, in one hand that's what it's supposed to be, but I
Literally.
and
Fan service.
and in defense of it, why I'm just kind of going after it is I'm thinking of another show, which I'm going to talk about here in a bit, is live action One Piece, which,
Excellent. Yes, continue.
yeah, that show, I say this to someone who has followed One Piece since the fucking 90s, but
It's true, I saw it. I can vouch for it. He had been watching One Piece since the 90s.
yes, but One Piece is difficult to adapt, especially with how many episodes they crammed into like 8. For what they did good. And that tells me if they're approaching Avatar: The Last Airbender with that same level of maybe we should just let the creators and fans just kind of make all the big decisions and just give them money, then
Legitimately, yeah. I have to say, as because we both know that to fit all of that into 8 episodes took some work, just narratively. Uh, that honestly, I think they pulled it off so well that it feels like the original manga is just filled with filler.
yeah, like there are different things, and like I watch like people who review talk about One Piece on YouTube because it's one of my obsessions. I have to,
Indeed.
and they all correctly point out there is a few things missing that in the short term don't mean anything in live action Netflix One Piece, but later on are kind of a big deal. Like I know you're not super far into One Piece, but I trust me when I say that there's going to come a point where from this point on, everything that happened beforehand was preamble. Characters start to return. Every character seems to have a purpose. The world is bigger, and this is the story of everyone. I my favorite thing about modern One Piece is Oda goes out of his way to ensure the viewer, even in chapter 1027, that Luffy is not the strongest thing in the world. Far from it. I think maybe he's in top 10. Maybe.
I mean, he thinks he's the strongest.
Well, that's the thing. He doesn't because he's not
Oh,
trying to be the strongest. Like if
oh,
you,
he just wants to be the king.
he wants to be the king of the pirates, and later on it delves into what that means to him. But I'll let you kind of discover it. But one thing I will tell you, it does not mean strength for Luffy in zero capacity. Like does it equate
Yeah,
to strength?
yeah. Honestly, I feel like true power does not require true strength. If you know what I mean. If you want to take a look at Congress,
But I'm just,
sorry,
but
go
yeah.
ahead.
But to bring it back to Avatar before I move more into like the news for One Piece season two, like I said, if the creators of Avatar are going at it with this angle, just like let the creators and fans do what they want, great. And I think they are because they did the casting announcement for Toph. I have no idea who this actress is. The consensus I've seen online is everyone going like, "Oh, she's freaking perfect." I have zero reason to doubt that. I
As do I.
yeah, it's like these people know this actress more than me, and I feel the same way about the actress who played Robin. Like one of her audition photos is her in an outfit Robin has later on, and I just look at that photo and go like, "Oh no, that is 100% Nico Robin." And apparently people are like, "Oh no, this is top." Like if you who know the series better than I and know this actress all say that this actress is perfect for the role, great. Like it, it's I'm willing to give live action Avatar a fair chance because of live action One Piece. And hearing that it's
Yeah,
growing and the fans are approving of the way that it's going, to me is very good.
yeah. And honestly, like obviously, you don't need to know who everybody is already. Uh, as far as the cast goes, as long as the casting director knows what they're doing and what's supposed to be going into the character, I honestly both welcome and hope for new talent to come in, or even talent that's just relatively unheard of. That's preferable to me than a star-studded remake of some sort of cartoon where, well, to the whole meme about Chris Pratt in everything.
Yeah.
Why is Toph not Chris Pratt?
Yeah. Like honestly, actually, we bring up Chris Pratt before we go too far into it. We were joking earlier, and we all kind of realized something about Chris Pratt that we cast him in every video game movie. In a weird way, he would have been better at playing Steve than Jack Black.
Oh yeah, that's true. Although as much that's really funny, but no, like maybe maybe I'm the odd one here, but I really did enjoy that few seconds of hearing Jack Black go, "I'm Steve," and like, and I would that's worth the price of admission to me. But then again, I am simple.
No, no, that's fine. Like, I, I'm still on the fence of seeing that movie. The only things that Jack Black is not the thing that draws me away from the movie because I tried to look at it like, okay, this is just gonna be the video game. Like, apparently these people are isekai in the Minecraft world. There's like two instances of the characters interacting with the world where I look at it and go, oh yeah, that's Minecraft. One is the opening shot where you just see the world in high def glory and everything's all blocky. It's like, oh, that's the
Yep.
Minecraft world. The other, I know people have dogged on it, but I love when he's doing crafting. He just goes wha bam on the bench and just ends up with two buckets. That's how that's how crafting in Minecraft is, though. Like, let's be real.
Yeah,
Like, I think
that's
that's
100% what it is.
yeah, that's funny. That's charming. Like, yeah. Um, so the thing that draws me away from Minecraft, I won't linger on it too much. It's how hairy everything looks. Why does the creeper look hairy? Why does the ghast look hairy? I
Ew.
I I don't like it. Like, the piglins are one thing, the sheep and llama are one thing. Which, actually, no, the sheep is ugly as sin in the trailer. I'm sorry, I hate it.
Oh God.
But everything looks. It's weird, but no. Bring it back to Netflix Geek Week, and I mentioned One Piece. There
Okay, that's
have
good.
been.
Yeah, let's get away from that fast because I just googled Minecraft Harry and I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah, don't. But there has been updates to live action One Piece. The picture that those watching see on screen, it is a
Excellent.
screen cap for Drum Island, which is going to be the last island on their stop for this season. As mentioned last time, we do know what's being covered in season two. It is everything from Logtown, where they meet like Smoker and Buggy again, all the way to Drum Island, where they meet Wapole. So there will be interactions with um, Robin and Crocodile, but they're not playing a major role. Maybe
Hmm.
they might up their role in the background a bit, like how in season one when you've read the at least the first part of One Piece, you know that
Yes,
Arlong in the live
I do know
action,
how to read. Yes.
yes, that Arlong in the live action played a much bigger role than he did in the manga.
Yes.
It is possible and very appropriate, I think, if they did that with Crocodile.
Hmm.
Like, I'm just saying, I'm
Let's
not saying
see.
make him the villain of Drum Island or anything. No, I'm just saying, like, make him more present, like in the areas beforehand. So when all that's resolved, we start and we end on the cliffhanger of going to Arabasta. The audience is prepared, like, we need this resolved now, which is probably what they're counting
Now, Sam, what is worst case scenario in how he is used?
on. Worst case scenario. Well, I don't even know what a worst case scenario is for him. Actually, it might be if he's the villain of Drum Island.
Would that make you check out entirely if they opened up
Uh,
they climb to the top of the drum on Drum Island and they open up the doors to the castle and he's like, well, I've been waiting for you. I am Crocodile.
you,
I
you
own this place.
you think this is snow? Jokes on you. We're in South Africa, bitch. No,
It suddenly got hot, did it not?
but no. Maybe like I don't think they would do that, but it if they nothing puts me off of a story more like when it defies its own tone or its own canon.
Yes.
Um, like, and any show can do that. Like, it actually happened. Like, we do this all the time, so feel free to rail the conversation like I'm about to do. But that specific thing happened at one point. There is a Common Writer series when I was watching that I was loving to literally the last minute of the last episode, and it did such a drastic thing at the last fucking minute. It almost took me off of not just that show, all of Common Writer.
Oh wow.
Um, basically it's a Kamen Rider Kiva. The whole thing, the enemies are called Fangires, or just kid-friendly vampires, I guess. But
What's it? I'm sorry, back up for a second. What is that word and what does it mean?
Fangire, it's just the catch-all term for their enemies. They're basically vampires. But the whole theme of the show, and why I do like the things I like about like Kamen Rider Super Sentai, they are kid shows, but that means something different in Japan. They are more adult, they are more mature. A kid show in Japan, especially Kamen Rider, is more aimed towards like a teen would be in America. Like 8 and up in Japan is more like 15 and up in the States.
That is incredible.
So they will swear. There will be blood. But
The Power Rangers will concho each other.
yes. But the themes in this show, it did a lot to impress me because it basically was telling two different stories at the same time from two different time periods and how they interacted with each other, like how these past events affected the future and what conflicts our hero has to deal with, and how everything kind of mirrors together. It in a very unique way to tell kind of like a if you don't learn from the past, you're doomed to repeat it kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And tying in just the story of these vampires, which at the end of the day, the vast majority of them didn't want to be the bad guys in this story. They had to drink something to do blood, but so many of them, and realistically, they didn't even have to do it a lot. Just the vast majority of them, like, fuck it, I guess we're monsters, and just acted that way. And the series ended on this, was about to end on a very bittersweet note, where basically one of the most evil of the dudes was torn asunder, and they were moving on. One of the characters had a wedding, and it was just had to do a zoom out thing. And you're left with this. Okay, so the worst is gone, and it is unclear whether or not they'll be able to get along, but they are trying. That is a good note to end on. Hope for the future. And just what we're about to do is like, oh, that was a great story about hope for the future. A fucking UFO blast the fucking church, and we're the Neo Fangires from fucking space.
What?
I just turned off the video and walked away. I hated it so fucking much. I was
I
like,
gotta go take a walk.
yeah, like it's like
You've never smoked a cigarette in your life. You go outside, smoke a cigarette like an old detective.
I don't drink, but that was one of those moments where like, damn, that's a good time to start.
You had a shaky, ice-filled glass of whiskey.
I I had like a glass of Coke holding it like some bourbon, like.
You haven't seen what I've seen.
Oh, I, but no, I guess the one way for One Piece to draw me away would be to. I don't mind them changing the core story because they're gonna have to change a few things here and there to fit within the reduced live action they're trying to do.
Yeah.
But if they change something super drastic, or if they just kind of go against their own canon and just do something off the wall, then I will. But like I said, I want to see. I swear, I have like half
What,
hiccups. But
what if they go up to the top of the drum mountain and Wapo is up there and he's like, "How about we drum up some action?" And he hits a bongo and then they get into a fight.
see, that's different from Wapol. I would expect that because Wapol is a goober.
Yes, he is.
Wapol is he is the comic relief that everyone hates him.
He is the silliest villain I've come across in quite some time.
I'm trying to think if you've met Foxy yet.
Foxy Brown?
Okay, you haven't. Okay. Wapol and Foxy are by far the silliest villains in One Piece, but after they're done, uh, mostly completely serious villains. There's some that are still kind of comedic, but there are villains later on that are just like follow the crocodile idea of just we're gonna be intimidating, we're gonna be smart, and we're gonna give you hell.
From afar.
Yes.
they don't get their hands dirty. They're the puppet masters.
Correct.
They are the middle managers of evil.
The middle the middle manager. Yes. And then there's Jack. But oh well, no, that's spoilers for way later in the series. Again, I want you to read One Piece at your own pace. Because
Yes.
just to shell it out here, everyone who says like, oh, it gets good at this point. No, it's good to me from the get out. It just gets different at key points from
Yes.
from
That
yeah from Alabasta on. Things start to get more focused, and then there's another turning point in an arc called Water 7. From there on, it is more serious. It's still a goofy pirate manga. There's still the general tone, but it's more serious,
Oh, okay. I
and
thought you were gonna say it was like The Big Short. It's gonna turn into a financial drama.
it's going to turn into fucking Berserk now. Like everything is
Oh,
more
I'd be
serious.
so down for that. Oh my god.
No, it's more serious, and all of the characters become much more aware of the consequences of their actions.
Come to think of it, my little avatar here is kind of somewhere between One Piece and Berserk.
Yeah, that's an Oda drawn demon right there. Yeah, one thing you will come to appreciate but also hate about Oda after Water 7, he has mastered this ability, and I will never forgive him for this. He has mastered this stability, this horrible ability to just out of nowhere and without my consent give me feels. Just like,
How
hey,
dare he?
hey, here's a new chapter. Hey, know this character you weren't ever thinking about, or maybe you even hated. We're gonna make you cry over him, motherfucker. It's like, wait, no, no, oh god,
Why no?
no.
I didn't want this.
he,
I never asked for feelings like this.
you never predict it, but like there was a big one in One Piece earlier in the year, and like, I'm still recovering. Oh my god. It, oh,
Don't you spoil it.
I won't, because I want
Don't you spoil it.
this one in particular. I won't spoil it because I want you to experience this one as fresh as I did.
Well, I appreciate that you're giving me room to read it at my own pace because I read at the exact same pace that George R. R. Martin writes in. So
Oh, so, so in three, so about the same pace that Oda writes.
about yeah, you know what? That's funny. Yes, absolutely. So unfortunately, that means if either of them passes away, I will not be finishing One Piece.
Funny you should say that.
Oh no!
No, Oda, the mad bastard, has a contingency for that.
Oh, does he really? Does he have it already planned out? Like,
It is one of the best kept secrets in the manga industry. But Oda,
he
in a
he finished One Piece 17 years ago.
no, there are people in his circle that already know how the series is going to end and how they want to connect these dots.
Uh,
So they already have the ending decided. Like it's him and a handful of writers. The only other people he has revealed it to, I think there was like two kids who'd like make a wish that just really wanted to know how the story would end. So he basically like went in there himself. It's just like, hey, is he good for a bit? Doctors, can you get out of the room? So it's just him and the kid, and he just told the kid the story and how One Piece ended, which I think is fucking awesome.
that is awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's. I wonder. Really, I think we're all waiting on what's going to happen with Berserk as well. I did finish that, and I know that his inner circle knows where it's going to a point, though I'm not sure they know where it's going to where it was supposed to end. But
Yeah,
I think we're gonna see what happens with it.
it's the small details. Like Berserk was just in kind of a touchy spot. The advantage One Piece has is it is in the final saga. So like there's how all these battle manga and shonen like Naruto and shit, they're divided into arcs.
Yes.
We have the current arc that just started, maybe one more, And after this arc is done, it's either one short one and then the final arc. That's it. People talk about how long One Piece is. I'm like, you remind them, like, yeah, it's gonna take them a few years to do it, but like, we're at the end of Act 3, y'all. Like,
Yeah, legitimately.
yeah,
And I'm pretty sure there'll be plenty of time because obviously this whole One Piece thing with Crocodile just kind of being in the background, and then the very last part going to be at Drum Island. It's basically guaranteeing a season 3, unless for some reason
yeah.
season 2 tanks super hard for no reason.
In this one, okay, yeah, that's the gamble they're gonna do with this one. Um, and other people kind of pointed this out. The and the villains they're going for season 2 are Wapol, Mister Three, and yeah, they're the big villains. And with all due respect for the acting choice for Mister Three, which I firmly believe is with what happens to him later in the series, is fucking perfect. Because yeah, no, because Mister Three is gonna play like a Starky douchebag, and then when we get to a later arc, he's basically gonna be Polka Dot Man again. But
Excellent.
but these
Oh,
vil
that's right. I did see that casting for Mister 3. That is perfect.
yep. And but these villains aren't threatening enough to carry a season potentially. So that's why I'm like, knowing Crocodile is in there is good, and I think Drum Island's going to be rewritten a little bit to connect it more with Alabasta. I'm
Yeah, that
I'm
makes sense.
I'm kind of expecting that. So like they were left with two options going into this. Option one, rush through everything and have like last four episodes of Alabasta, and it would just flop. They would get everything they wanted, but no. But this one is this.
Do they make Drum Island and Alabasta two halves of the same island?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Um, I don't know how exactly they're going to do it, but I think them padding it out is the better option because yes, this season's going to be up in the air in quality, and like how they write the villains and how they incorporate Crocodile is going to be the make it or break it to me. But if this does at least fine, even if it doesn't match quite the numbers of season one, if this does good enough, we will at least get a season three.
Yeah.
And I think they're trying to guarantee they at least do season three. Uh, I've told my friend DJ this. I am of the firm opinion that there is a point in One Piece where you will need to stop because the series gets really big. Not it's too large in scope, and some of the characters are too weird to apply to live action.
Yeah, that's true. I tell you what though, if season 2 does well or even better with than season 1 did, considering there's a lot of people that are watching One Piece on Netflix that haven't otherwise watched the anime, or they haven't read the manga, and this is we're getting people like even from the Marvel universe jumping into this project that
Mhm.
who knows who's going to play these even bigger villains down the road.
Oh yeah, like like if it were up to me, I would say do season three Alabasta. If that does super well and you're guaranteed a bigger budget and more episodes, do up to Ennis Lobby or Water Seven and Ennis Lobby. That's my hard cutoff because I there I don't want to spoil a villain later on, but like one that's like right after Ennis Lobby, which is a lot of fans' favorite just arc in general. The villain is he's not a bad villain. He's just he gets the unfortunate short end of the stick because he's sandwiched between two awesome arcs. And,
Right.
and if you have like a just kind of okay villain between two badass villains, he's gonna look like he sucks.
Yeah, I can see that.
And but this villain in particular has a very One Piece proportions.
Interesting.
You remember the Mighty Pearl from the Baradier?
Yes.
He looked more human than this guy.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay, well, so they're not going to cast him with Zac Efron. You're telling me?
Oh hell no. If they cast him at all, they're gonna pick someone awful. They're gonna
Well,
pick, or they're gonna do
speaking of which,
CG.
do you have any dream castings that you wish either would have happened with this season or in future seasons?
Dream castings for One Piece. Ooh, I'm trying to restrict my focus to later people who join the crew later. Um,
Did they release a voice actor for Tony Chopper?
they did not. Some people think they did, but then they didn't. The only he never talked in the reveal trailer. That was just Tanaki. But
Oh yeah, yeah. That they made it seem like it was like, oh, this is a special teaser, an exclusive teaser, even though they teased Chopper being on season 2 at the end of season 1.
yeah, like the tease we got for Chopper was like a glimpse of what he looks like, which is fine. The But that's not the part of that trailer I was focusing on. I was watching the table read, so I can seeing just these people read the lines, and it eased my tension about it a little bit because the fact that Oda's involved in the casting tells me that he picked people are that he views as perfect for the role. Like these people look like this. Like I know, and for reference of what we're going to expect in later seasons, if it gets to this point, at one point, Oda actually revealed in Japanese manga they do all these like Q&A segments at the end, like Shonen Jump and shit.
Uh-huh.
And for One Piece, it has an exclusive one, like an SBS, where it just answer questions and reveal little factoids that never really make it into the story, but are just kind of fun to know. And he kind of someone asked him like, "Oh, if the Straw Hat Pirates are in real life, what nationality would they be?" He has pretty much stayed true to that because like Luffy was Brazilian, Inaki Godoy, Nami's like Sanji's French, Zoro's Japanese, Robin is Russian. Well, look at that.
Yeah.
like
Yeah, yeah.
like he's sticking to how he views these people, and he's kind of narrowing his search to that front. And the only
Interesting.
yeah, the only American in the group is, you know what, I won't even spoil it, but there is a later character that is after Robin. There's two other people that are get involved in the story in the Straw Hat Pirates that are they are like up there as like two of my favorites. Like
Interesting.
one was a favorite early on, is maintained like no, I love this character, but the one that joins right after him, he started off just like, oh yeah, I like his backstory, I like him, but then you get later on, I was like, oh no, he's my favorite. He is a but okay. Rabbit Hole, One Piece season 2 looks
Is he
good.
the guy with the big fists?
The guy with the big fist is the one that I like from the get go. The Skelly boy is the one that like later on I decided no, he's my favorite.
Well, which one's the is the guy with the big fists the American?
Yes.
I knew it.
Yep.
If I had to pick out anybody from this lineup, it wasn't going to be anybody else but him.
Oh yeah, no, he's 100% American. He is the epitome of how Japanese view Americans. There. I guess to move on from that, there were trailers that came from Geeked Weekend, not just news, not just all these little videos. Like I will post
Yes.
the teaser video for One Piece that I talked about with the little uh table read and whatnot. And there was also a funny one from the actor who played Buggy, which is like, oh man, look at all these costumes. Everything was blurred. I thought that was kind of cheeky and fun.
No, finally, yeah, no, I'm glad that we get to talk about this now. You sent me the list of trailers that I needed to watch through, and I'm very excited to discuss them. Especially my favorite among them, Popeye with Will Smith.
Ah, yes. But before we get to that, I guess let's finish the Geek Weekend. So a nice wrap around. I don't have a lot to say about this one, but I'm happy that it exists. The Devil May Cry anime.
Yeah,
Um, this seems to be the same. people that did it, I could be wrong. I don't know enough about differentiate animators. I don't have that special eye. But it seems like it's the same people that did the Castlevania anime.
Yeah, that's exactly. Although to be honest with you, this kind of it, now this is going to sound racist, but all American anime look the same to me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I think they're no, it's not racist because I think American studios are falling into the same are slowly falling into the same trap that American cartoon studios do. You know how there's so many jokes about how Steven Universe looks like every fucking kid's show for a while.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah,
because the
absolutely.
same studio did everything, and I think like all these American-made animes are starting to fall into that same trap. Like,
Into contemporary Justice League cartoons. Yes.
yeah, it's not a style that looks bad. It's just like give us variety. Like I want different looking shows. Like it's kind of why people will look at anime more so than American cartoons because yeah, there's like everyone says like oh that looks like an anime. There's so many creators. I mean, just look at fucking Uzumaki. Do you see that trailer?
I am so excited for that. You have
I
no
mean,
idea. I've been telling
Uzumaki.
everybody I knows about it.
Yeah, Uzumaki doesn't look like One Piece. Neither of them look like fucking Kengan Ashura.
No.
None of them look like Brits. Like every anime at least looks a little bit different, and the style fits the series. I want that level of variety for American shows. Devil May Cry is a little different, but not much. It's like, but style wise, I have that little gripe. But story wise, I'm happy it exists. I never got into Devil May Cry.
Same. No, yeah, me and you both. I was whenever I read that, I was like, Sam, did you play Devil May Cry? I didn't want you to
No.
play Devil May
The
Cry.
closest I've ever played to a Devil May Cry game is God was apparently that recent game Hi-Fi Rush plays just like some of the Devil May Cry games.
Oh my god, can we talk about Hi-Fi Rush?
And how fucking awesome that game was.
Yes, it was so good. Oh my god, it was so much fun.
I want to replay the wolf boss on fucking loop because of the classical music and I don't know why that hyped me up so
Yes.
much.
Yes, I gotta download it again right now. This is officially becoming a let's play, and we're gonna be playing Hi-Fi Rush for the remainder of the
No,
podcast.
not maybe later. But
Ah,
I I
buzzkill.
yep, I'm gonna be a buzzkill, but yeah, Hi-Fi Rush is my only exposure to Devil May Cry. It got me thinking I might play the games. I've seen like clips from the games. I've seen them people talk about him. I know he's overpowered in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I guess. I don't know. Apparently there's like some deep lore that like every other fucking nerd in the world knows except for us apparently. But
100%. No,
yeah,
yeah, everything that I've learned about Devil May Cry has been against my will.
yes. But even with that, I'm happy this exists. It speaking as a neutral party who's ever played it, looking at the trailer, this looks good. Like this looks like it's going to be a decent show, decently animated. I wish the style was a little bit more unique, but that's a minor gripe for
Yeah,
now.
like and let me pitch you this idea then, we're talking about let's mix up the style on the next video game movie. Let's do Banjo Kazooie in the style of Ghost in the Shell.
I just tried to imagine just a gruff, rugged banjo, but it sounds the same. Just comes
Gritty
out
Banjo
muscle
Kazooie.
bound. Yeah, he just comes out muscle bound bear with a fucking stogie and just comes to the camera. Oh, yeah?
he's he looks tired. He's sitting in an office just discussing what is essentially spycraft in an office with just a tired look on his face, smoking a cigarette, drinking coffee.
He's a you're a loose cannon cop, Banjo.
Uh?
The golden jigsaw piece smuggling ring is out of. I don't know how. Okay, that's another game. I know a lot about Banjo Kazooie. Never fucking played it, but I do regret it. Like I what as soon as I'm able to get some extra money, I do want to get that Nintendo Switch arcade, like the online expansion, whatever, so I can play it on the N64 arcade.
I can say I've played a little bit of it. I haven't finished it, but it's fun.
Yeah,
You know what it is? What it basically is, it's the Donkey Kong 64 game,
yeah,
but with a sensible amount of collecting.
eh, and not the amount of fucking backtracking you have to do. Because oh my god,
I had totally forgotten about it. I had really had rose-colored glasses about that game. I really thought that it was an amazing game, and then I will go back to watch other people play it. And I'm like, this is
obnoxious.
hell. Whatever. Yeah, obnoxious is definitely the word for it.
Yeah,
This is too much. Were we really that engrossed that we went and got every color banana?
yeah. When fucking Ghost of Tsushima has less collecting than Donkey Kong 64.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, like because it goes to Tsushima, you just basically go through everything once. In Donkey Kong 64, you have to go through it 5 fucking times.
Well, at least I guess you could say that you really played the game once you've done it.
Yes.
Right, yeah. You know what my favorite part of that game was? The original Donkey Kong arcade game that was built within it.
Yup. Oh yeah, that was a nice touch in that. Oh, well, that's
Nostalgia.
well, I move on to other anime related things. This is one that I was briefly talked about it, I believe, when Butch was on with us. Gundam, good old Gundam.
Gundam.
So I've seen some people turned off from it because they're looking at like the dubbing is not
Trash. Just say it.
it's yeah, the dubbing sucks. Watch it in Japanese. Just watch it in Japanese and subtitles. It's not that fucking hard because if you take the dubbing out of the equation, the show looks great. The dialogue seems to be like smartly written. And as someone vaguely familiar with Gundam Wing, like everyone points out, like, yeah, no, you kind of forget that Amuro was kind of a horror movie villain to the people in that empire that weren't dickbags.
Oh wow, yeah, no, that's true. This is something that I was actually suspicious of. So you're telling me now? I don't know if you saw the Japanese. I didn't watch the Japanese version of it, but did the Japanese version of it have Japanese voice actors attempting to speak English
No,
with built-in subtitles for the no?
no, like I found clips of it in like a Japanese trailer. That big 14-minute teaser we got at Geeked Week. I don't know if there's a Japanese version of that, but I saw a Japanese trailer, and the talking in that one seems fine. There was subtitles on. I was able to glean what they were saying. I'm just like, all it told me is I'm gonna watch this in Japanese, and I'm able to kind of tell that the writing seems to be on point. And again, even with the American trailer, if that is just one-to-one translated, and like just look at like the written word and not so much the bad dubbing, I mean, this is just a wartime movie from the other side. Like,
Yeah, I can see that. So the way that I took it was that they one that this was not originally. I don't know why I would think this. Please feel free to lambast me for this. But initially, at least, I thought that this was animated for an English speaking audience because it appeared as though the dubbing was at least close to what was being animated, like speech wise. Maybe they just dubbed it so that they got similar mouth sounds out of what the characters were doing, but it looked just like it was originally animated for English speech, but just clunkily animated,
yeah,
like something that was produced 10 years beforehand on a video. Legitimately, like there were in-game animation speech dialogue cutscenes that were better animated than this 10 years ago in video games.
no, because I thought that too. I thought it was just bad speech crap. But watching that 14-minute little teaser, you could tell it's not just bad dubbing. Like they're actually like saying something else entirely, and that keyed me in. Like this is the Japanese show. They made
Yeah,
this in Japanese, and they're trying to really pitch it to American audiences.
I don't know why that surprised me.
I it kind of got me too, but I think it's because the marketing is leaning more towards the American release than the Japanese release because you don't really have to sell Gundam to Japan.
No, no, you really. I mean, they built one,
Yeah.
a semi-functioning Gundam, so I feel like they're a little invested at the very least.
Yeah.
But I honestly, I took the bad dubbing to be like, well, obviously they're not focused on this part of the movie, and it's going to be mostly robot action. And I sincerely hope that there is at least a few scenes of Death Scythe.
Well, maybe this is early on, so this might just be Saku's and like the first mobile suit that Empire is able to make. Like,
Well, let me be the first to say, if there is no Death Scythe, I'm not interested.
oh, okay. I am marginally interested. I have a passing interest in Gundam at most. I just think this is an interesting take on it that I might give a shot. But yeah, I don't. But yeah, not much else to say about that one. Oh,
Well, I suppose just for canon reasons, I should be aware of everything that goes on first, so I guess I'll watch it even if there's no Death Scythe.
and speaking of series that I have a passing interest in, but I'm glad this exists. Lara Croft, Legend or the Tomb Raider Legend of Lara Croft.
Sam,
Hmm.
not you too.
What?
It's Lara.
Oh,
Lara Croft.
oh. See, that's how much I don't know about the series. Lara Croft. Okay, Lara
But
Croft.
I only say that because her name is spelled Lara, and even in the trailer they're like Laura, Laura, and I'm like, no, that's not how it's spelled.
All right, I have a new way to. But yeah, Griffin is a Tomb Raider fan. I haven't really played the games. I it, I told a coworker like amongst the weird foray of just adventure style games, the only one that has mildly interested me is Uncharted, and I still haven't even played
Yes,
that.
agreed. I have the extent to which I've been exposed to Lara Croft is recently watching an Ononi plays.
Yeah. But yeah, like my judgment of this series is based entirely on the trailer. I'm glad it exists. Uh, just like with Devil May Cry, I think I'm more interested in watching this than the Devil May Cry anime because it has that adventure setting, and I do kind of like those adventure settings. Um,
You know what? She also kind of looks like, and whenever I see trailers for it, my brain briefly says Legend of Korra.
Legend of Korra.
Legend of Korra with guns, but that's the outfit that she wears and her brown hair and the way that this is being animated very much reminds me of Legend of Korra. I don't know why. I didn't watch that show either, but for some reason that sticks out in my head.
It reminds me of the Kong Skull Island anime. Not just that the protagonist is a badass woman with brown hair and a pointed tail. Also, the Arc anime. Oh, that's neither here nor there. But
Well, then where is it?
seeing this trailer makes me want to go back and play the reboot trilogy, which this is canon to. Oh, okay, so this is canon to the games. That's great.
That's good. I cannot wait to watch for 30 minutes as Lara Croft runs from bats.
Uh, um, I I guess again I haven't played the games. I don't know. There was a joke here.
And they're just bats in a cave, and she shoots the bats and then moves along with her life.
Oh, yeah.
And that's Tomb Raider.
So yeah.
There, I've summarized the game for you.
All right.
Sometimes there's bears,
Oh.
sometimes there's a T-Rex, but there's always a key of some sort. There's always a puzzle of some sort.
See, my ADD riddled brain. You mentioned T Rex, and you know what game it made me want to play again?
Turok.
Hell, fucking yeah! Because the
Hell
360
yeah.
Turok is to me a hidden gem.
Yes. Yes.
It like everyone forgets about it. It never gets praised. No one ever mentions it. But like I found an emulator and I replayed it, and you know what I found? The game is still fucking good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm glad we could settle this. Now everybody go play Turok right now.
Yeah, like it doesn't.
Everybody get a 360.
Yeah, you don't have to play any other previous tie-ins. It starts from zero. It has a pretty well contained story. It's just an American Indian dude with guns and bows and arrows just fighting evil dudes, bugs, and bunch of fucking dinosaurs.
Go out and stab a velociraptor today.
Yeah, I love there was one kill that I used that I was able to do sometimes, and I love how nonchalant it is when a raptor charges at you a few times. It's like the insta kill knife quick enough. All you do is you just move your hand and just knife its skull while it's in front of you. So yeah, because you don't move, you just like bring down the knife and it's just like, and you just knock his body out of the way. It's like one of those disrespectful power moves that I've seen a main character do to a dinosaur.
Oh man.
Uh Man, Lara Croft leads us to talk about Turok, but that'll be the end of all the Geek Weekend stuff that I feel like I'd say something about. Um, but now for the stuff that wasn't on Geek Week,
Yes.
there's a few trailers that came out of nowhere, and I mentioned adventure movies, Bookworm.
Yes, Elijah Wood finally playing somebody his own age.
Yes, Elijah Wood playing a deadbeat dad. But no, in all seriousness, I rewatched the trailer, and while it's implied, it's never stated why the dad wasn't there. Like
No.
it's like they're going out of their way to avoid talking about that. Like it's going to be a plot in the movie, and the fact that his character is actively trying to be a part of this kid's life, and like he trying to convince her he was gone for a reason. Like there's little comedy bits. Like the only part of this trailer that just had me roll my eyes that I don't like is that stupid fart joke at the end.
Oh yeah, that legitimately I was like, oh,
Yeah,
it's gonna be that kind of movie.
yeah,
Also, I know they don't want us to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it. The fucking Pharrell hat that he was wearing at the very beginning
yeah.
of the trailer.
No, yeah, the fucking
Like,
like
will they not with that goddamn hat?
I don't know. That's why the picture I chose didn't have the hat. I hate it too.
It's so silly. Where did it come from? And please, I hope it goes.
He's a magician. He has to have a big hat or some shit. I don't know.
Well, doesn't that make that doesn't make any sense? It's supposed to make it. That just makes it more plausible that he hid more stuff in there.
It makes sense if you don't think about it.
Yeah, you want to impress me? Use one of those newsy hats.
Ooh, actually, that'd be fun. A magician using a newsy hat.
Yeah, pull an entire rabbit out of that fucker.
Damn. All right.
Yeah, I said it.
Uh, well, this as a concept though, this movie it does look like it's going to be hopefully mostly good, and I like that this is an adventure movie, but not like how adventure movies have been for the past like 20 fucking years, like Jungle Cruise and Pirates of the Caribbean and The Mummy, where there's always some
Yeah.
like level of sci-fi or fantasy to it. This is an adventure movie of a father and his daughter going on an adventure in the boonies of the U.S. where they're like spelunking, mountain climbing, trying to hunt a big cat, and meeting some fun characters. And
Yeah.
I'm just this looks like charming as fuck. I as long
It does look charming. Can I say there's something about it, however, that makes me worry a little bit,
hmm,
or maybe not worried, but like there's something about it that reminds me of another Elijah Wood movie, a movie called I don't know if you remember this movie, North.
I remember it, but I haven't seen it. I remember it existing. I remember seeing like promotional stuff for it, but I've never seen the movie itself.
So it's kind of similar in where Wood's character is like a super talented kid that leaves his neglectful parents to travel the world. And I think he ends up getting like adopted by another couple or something like that. Uh, and that's the whole premise is that he's looking for better parents. but it's not a great movie, but it's just kind of interesting that there's some things about that movie that line up with this one. And Elijah Wood just also happens to be in this one, even though this time he's the terrible parent.
Yeah, it's like I hope and I have a feeling that there is going to be a deeper reason to why he left revealed in the movie. Like, because the other thing is this the girl in the movie, the little girl, she's like so disconnected. Like one of the jokes that she had, I was like, "What's a Vin Diesel?" It's like, "Oh, you don't know what a TV is."
What's a SpongeBob? Get out.
Like, I don't know. I
Yes, yes, you're impressive. You can do trigonometry. That's all well and good. But if I can't talk to you about SpongeBob, I don't care what you have to say.
exactly. No, but this looks fun. I can't wait for more trailers to come out. This actually no, I don't think one will because this is coming out in October.
Yes, this one is coming out the soonest among all the trailers that we watched.
Yeah, which sucks because like I get like one movie pass every month. I just used one recently to see a movie, which I'm going to talk about when I talk about new and recent stuff. But the one I for October, the I plan on using that pass to. I'm thinking about going to see Joker 2.
I I still haven't seen the first Joker. I'm gonna hold off on that too. Like I don't know if I'm super interested in it because you know what's funny
Mm.
is that the same kind of people that got real obsessed with Heath Ledger's Joker and would like go as that Joker for Halloween literally did the exact same thing with
Yeah,
this new Joker. It's just like, come on, y'all. This is a little bit on the nose.
they're
This, yeah,
they're
the whole society
sensationalizing
we
them.
live in a we live with the whole we live in a society joke is really it's really gotten old at this point.
Yeah, they sensationalize the Joker to the point where it's like, all right, you've lost the point of the character, you've lost the point of his message if you're sensationalizing him this much.
Can I book a totally? Can I pitch you on a different movie to go see? As
Uh,
a trailer for something that I saw whilst researching the trailers that you provided to me.
Possibly. There's a lot coming in October, so it might already be in my radar. What's up?
Well, I don't know actually when. Well, no, it's gonna have some select theater releases, but it's supposedly gonna be on Amazon Prime in October as well. But let me just read off a few of the actors in it. You ready?
Hmm.
Uh, Josh Brolin, Peter
Okay.
Dinklage,
Oh, wait a
Glenn
minute.
Close,
Wait a minute.
Marissa Tomei,
You
and Brendan Fraser.
wait a minute. Oh no, I saw a poster for this movie. Hold on a second. Oh, I can't think of the title, but I saw a poster for this movie. Oh,
The trailer is wonderful, and I'm very interested.
I might have missed that trailer. What's it called?
It's called Brothers.
Brothers. Yeah, see, I missed that trailer. I saw the picture, but I missed the trailer completely. All right, let's see what's coming out. Oh, you know what? No, I'll save Joker for streaming. There, Monster Summer takes priority over Joker in my eyes.
Monster Summer, you say?
It is basically a is like one of those quintessential movies. Like we're gonna capture everything about like late '80s, early '90s kids movies to the point where they got the kid who played the catcher from the fucking Sandlot in this movie.
Oh
Oh
yeah, Patrick Renna,
yeah, yeah.
that guy.
Mel Gibson plays the dad that everyone thinks is evil. Don't worry, they're only half right. But
It's just-
but
oh man, I gotta support another Mel Gibson movie. Why?
oh man, see, okay, now there's other movies in October that are just like more priority than Joker. Monster Summer and Frankie Frico are both above it.
Freddy Freaker, you
Yeah,
say?
Freddie, Frankie, Freaky Deaky. Um, yeah, Frankie Frico. That's it.
Frankie Frico.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got coming out in October.
Are we going on too much of a tangent? Do we have another movie on the list to talk about?
Uh, um, there is other trailers to talk about. I'm just kind of making a mental note of upcoming stuff. I think it's just
Definitely, all who are viewing this right now, watch the trailer for Brothers. It
yes.
looks really.
And the fact that I didn't was able to get to it this time, I'll probably see if I can get to it next time. But yeah, moving on to the next trailer. Ooh, this one came out of fucking nowhere, and I am locked in. I am seeing Mickey 17.
Yes, I the whenever you showed me this, and I said Mickey 17, and this is about to be a Mickey Mouse movie, and I was so delighted to see that it was not.
Like Robert Pattinson is like what is the actor's name who is being Mr. Three and fucking was Polka Dot Man, that actor.
He's Polka Dot Man. He's
Robert
yeah.
Pattinson is channeling that actor in this performance to the point where I couldn't recognize that this was Robert Pattinson at first.
That's what, no, 100%. Yeah, I was like, oh, this is an interesting. Like he's Robert Pattinson really has some crazy range.
Yes, I between this and Batman, I am so glad that Hollywood recognized like, oh, let's forget Twilight. This guy has talent. Let's actually put him in good movies.
100%. And then the actor that's playing Mr. Three is David Dastmalchian.
Malkian, yeah. Yeah, Robert Pattinson is definitely channeling Des Malkian in some of these shots where like I saw someone like, oh, it's that one dude who played Mr. who's playing Mr. Three. I saw like, no, it's Robert Pattinson. Holy shit, it is Robert Pattinson.
Oh my god! Not only is it Robert Pattinson, it's Robert Pattinson and Robert Pattinson.
Oh my god, you're right.
There's 17 of them canonically.
Yeah. I love that this guy just has a death wish and like they're putting him in, throwing his body at one point. It's like, hey, wait, this guy's still alive. It's fine.
Incredible.
uh, there's so many ways that this movie can go. It could be like a revenge thing. It could be just a very emotional, like kind of a movie about depression. Like I don't know where it's going, but the premise is so fucking unique. I'm locked in already.
We go no 100%. I'm very much interested in what they have to show.
It's like I,
Without spoiling it too much.
yeah, like I don't want to spoil the trailer. Like I go see the trailer. Like I said, when if you see this on YouTube, the link will be in a playlist that I'm gonna have in the description. But yeah, definitely see the trailer for Mickey 17. There's not much I could say about it because I want everyone to experience this trailer on their own. It is a very well made trailer for a potentially very well made movie.
I can't. I can't imagine this being bad. If it is, oh well. I like it. Shut up.
Yeah. uh yeah, I'll say for that. Oh, this one also got me off guard. I think it's the last trailer maybe to talk about. Um Remake of Salem's Lot.
Ah, yes. No, this is one where I was like, wow, this is one of those classics that I really just haven't gotten around to seeing. But the trailer made it look really interesting, and so much so that I feel like we might have to go back and watch the whole original miniseries first.
Same. Like I've never watched Salem's Lot. I always understood that, and people who know horror more than me claim that like it is the quintessential vampire thing next to like Bram Stoker's Dracula and Nosferatu. I've always just kind of like
Ooh.
logged that in the background. Like, all right, so I guess it's just a really good fucking vampire story. And watching this trailer, I'm like, oh, if this is even a portion of the quality that the original series has, like, yeah, no, this looks really good.
I honestly like. I wish and I hope that there's because to me it looks like there's going to be a good mix of both digital and practical effects in a way that makes it look less hokey and less cartoonish.
Mm-hmm. Uh, well, they have to because like some of the shots in the trailer, like they're flying around. Um, I hope the right there is one image that if you look up Salem's Lot, it's kind of a spoiler how one of the vampires looks with like all like the weird fucking rat fangs and long teeth and shit. Like
Rad fangs.
it's I don't know how else to describe it, but there's that one vampire look from Salem's Lot. The look is spoiled, but like like those kind of effects I'd want to be practical. But yeah, if they do like practical set design, but like use CG for like flying and just like very minor enhancement, which is what it should be for, then I think that's where what they should stick with.
I agree. Yeah, 100%. Keep it canonical.
Yeah, I mean, not to bring it back, but think about that's kind of what One Piece does. It's like they go out of their way to make practical costumes and sets, and fans fucking love it. Like Godzilla minus one did great CG and great practical effects on a fucking $15 million budget. Like, I hope these kind of fan projects are telling Hollywood, don't blow your budget on shitty CG. Just make something good and make it practical if you have to.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. Um, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, haven't seen original Salem's Lot. I want to. I'm probably going to in preparation for seeing this because like this looks this looks like a good time. But yeah, but that'll be the last trailer I want to talk about. Uh, New and recent films. This is a segment I do just like if there's anything new you saw recently, be it like obviously in theaters, but maybe even on Netflix. This is appropriate. The I tried to watch the Terminator show on Netflix. I just didn't have time. I honestly was gonna watch it, like binge it Friday and yesterday, but suddenly yesterday, just like two things came up to. I was like, I guess I'm doing these, but no,
Well, I haven't. I tell you what, I haven't really watched any new and recent, or at least not really immediately new or recent movies. Although I did just finish last night, Delicious in Dungeon.
how is that?
It is lovely. I enjoyed it quite a bit. The let me see actually when the anime was released. It was
I know it's recent.
anime. I think it was recent too. The adaptation aired from January to June 2024. So it was this year, just not necessarily this summer. It was I guess it was released on Netflix in January, but I enjoyed it a lot, and it very much uh, keeps faithful to a Dungeons and Dragons format in the sense like all of these things are somewhat plausible in a tabletop game and are interesting narrative wise.
Okay. Like I've heard some of my friends tell me that like, it's one of like it's there is of course action scenes in it, but in general, it is one of the most just cozy anime to watch.
It is fairly cozy. I mean, there gets to a point where it's like, okay, this isn't cozy. This is making me sad. Uh, but and at least when you're initially watching it, the first thing you're going to think of is Food Wars.
Oh,
Um,
well, I don't know about that because I finished reading Food Wars from beginning to end, and the only feeling I got from that is this is unnecessarily horny.
yeah, no, it's Food Wars it's Food Wars without the horny.
Oh, oh, that's good.
Yeah, no, it's although there is one part that was really funny without spoiling anything. They're about to get into this big fight with a monster that is half human, half dragon, and it's it's kind of like a centaur situation where she's got a dragon body and a human torso, but she's wearing a shirt initially, and she gets stabbed a few times, and then she gets rearing to attack, and everybody's shouting. They're like ah, and the dragon's like ah, and then she goes to start tearing off her shirt, and the one of the female characters goes whoa 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 in the middle of this intense battle, like just kind of cuts back to her like ah whoa whoa whoa.
No horny, bad.
Yeah,
No.
no horny, no horny. But it's yeah, no, it's a good watch. I definitely recommend it for anybody who enjoys anime in general, especially if you like Dungeons and Dragons and Food Wars. Then you will like Delicious in Dungeon.
uh, so before I get into the movie I saw in theaters, I'll just a chance to recommend it to you. If you like martial arts or battle anime, uh,
Battle May, you say?
yes, uh, Kengan Ashura. It it finished it, so the complete series is on Netflix. I
Interesting.
like that series more than I thought I would. It's literally just an excuse to have gratuitous violence, but basically just a tournament of just the strongest people in like an underground fighting thing. One of the characters, I'm not gonna say how far they get because like it, but their his name is Sekibayashi, and every character has a different style. Um,
I
yes,
might have seen this. Is this something that kind of, in a way, appears like Baki?
kinda like okay, so it's like Baki but less ugly. Like I told my friend
Okay,
this, like I
I'm
want to
interested. You got me.
like that's told my friend like I want to watch Baki, but sometimes that show and the character design just looks ugly to me.
Yeah, their cheeks have biceps.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like Kenga and Ashura, some characters look unsettling, but like whenever it happens, it's clearly intentional. This
Yeah.
this one, the characters are more real. I'm not gonna say realistically proportionate. It's an anime, but it's more realistic about how it portrays people and how like these fights affect them. Um, and people die.
What?
Yeah, I know, but like each fighter has like a different style, their own little quirks. Like some of them are more like pretty direct that we know, like oh this character just uses Muay Thai, and this character is a sumo wrestler. Seki
This
by
this character blows blue fireballs. This character
no,
also does blue fireballs, but is American.
no one does that. There's two characters I think you'll love them both. One I forget his name, but he's not a fighter. He's actually a spear fisherman who hunts whales, but he does it he doesn't like use a harpoon gun or anything. He literally just dives in with a harpoon and just hucks it himself and drags the whole thing in. So his upper body strength is insane. And like his form of strike is like he primes to throw like a harpoon the way he would, but instead of throwing, he throws his fist and it just knocks a fucker out.
What the
I know it's so off the wall and wild. And the and Seki Bayashi, who you'll love, is literally a pro wrestler, like showy and everything.
Excellent. But what if I would like the sumo wrestler? You know my whole deal.
Well, sumo wrestler is in there, and he does like everything accurate to sumo with a little splash of E Honda.
Well, I'll be the one to judge that.
Like it's anime is fun, but no, Kengan Ashura is fun, but it's fun. It's a great battle manga. But if you want something off the fucking wall, I recommend it last time to my buddy Blexen. But Record of Ragnarok. It is
Record of Ragnarok.
the premise is simple. All the gods of the world just decide, yeah, humanity kind of sucks. Let's exterminate them, and then
Sam, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. This is the premise of a Guar album called also Ragnarok.
yeah. But in this series, the Valkyries, who are basically the defenders of the mortals, are all like, no, 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 no. I, I, oh, what's the fucking legal term? Like, I'm going to enact subsection D article, whatever the fuck, and just they're like, all right, we're gonna do a tournament, I guess, gods versus humans in a 13v13, 13 different 1v1 matches. First side to win 7 wins the tournament. If the gods win, they're going to go through with exterminating humanity, and if the humans win, they get to live.
Sam, I really feel like you're pulling a fast one on me, and you just recommended me individually Street Fighter and also Mortal Kombat.
It's not that, I swear. This is like taking the Record of Ragnarok. You want to know how fucking batshit insane Record of Ragnarok is?
Sam, I hate to put a break on this, but I will remind you that you just said that there was a fighting movie with characters that were sumo wrestlers, and then a separate fighting thing where it was a tournament between gods and mortals, and whoever loses dies. That is Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat.
Huh?
Hashtag change my mind.
I'm not saying it's not.
I what? Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But in Record of Ragnarok, like there's only 2 seasons of the anime. It's 2.5. I think there's 3, but it's like it's weirdly paced. But the next if it does another season, the fight they're gonna go on is one I'm so looking forward to. But the fights they have are so out of fucking place. Like you have Hercules versus Jack the Ripper.
What?
Yeah.
I feel like we already know what's gonna happen here.
Hercules fighting for the gods, Jack the Ripper fighting for humanity.
No thanks. I guess the gods win. Go ahead.
Well, let's just say humans have won a fair amount of their fights, and fights that otherwise they may not have been supposed to win. But
did he say don't bring a fist to a knife fight?
So the whole reason the humans actually have a chance this time is Valkyries, and apparently this is actually somewhat true in Norse mythology, which is something I really respect about Record of Ragnarok. Is there's like echoes of actual mythology in the stuff these characters do and behave.
There's light mythology.
Yeah, like light actual mythology. I really appreciate that about Record of Ragnarok, and like the Valkyries, they could basically imbue themselves into artifacts and basically bind themselves to a human. Like that, like they are now bound to that human, and should they die or be destroyed with that human should be destroyed, the artifact goes with them, and that Valkyrie is gone. So they basically have these humans with these divine weapons that allow them to actually fight on par with the gods. And that weapon will take different forms depending on the angel and the human wielding it. Yeah. The one I'm so looking forward to because it's so batshit is Nikola Tesla versus Beelzebub. Spoiler alert: Nikola Tesla is a Tesla coil-powered Iron Man.
Okay.
It's that kind of anime.
Now I feel like I'm accurately prepared for what I'm facing.
It is so like that fight and the one after it. I am so I already did all this hype for Blexit. I'll tell you again. The fight after it, I'm also prepared for. It's King Leonidas versus Apollo, and they made King Leonidas an arrogant cunt in the manga. Like he is the stereotypical old dude, like with a fucking again a stogie, and just when you see him, he's just laying in a hammock. And when the Valkyrie goes and listen, you're fighting next, he's like, no, try again. I'm either fighting first or last. I'm a headliner, kid. And it's like, well, I guess you won't get to fight Apollo. He gets the fuck out. Did you fucking say Apollo? I'm gonna punch that son fucker right in his jaw. Get me out there.
What in the world?
It is the fight like Kengan Ashura. I think is better as far as pacing and just all around stuff because Record of Ragnarok does have pacing issues, but they're both fun. They're both very fun. But to move on to the other thing I saw recently, the movie I saw recently, Transformers 1.
Oh yeah, I've been seeing clips of that. The trailer made me go, but I've seen clips where people are like, no, it's pretty solid. What do you think?
So one thing I will happily say, outside of one more scene that's kind of all of the scenes with Bumblebee where he's annoying are in the trailer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Outside of those scenes that are in the trailer, Bumblebee's fine.
Oh, that's good.
Like he's clearly the comic relief for kids, but like the worst of it is already shown in the trailer. And
excellent.
And even with that, the focus is entirely on Optimus and Megatron, or how they were beforehand, Orion Pax and D16.
See, that's the way to do it. You set our expectations nice and low.
Yeah. It it was a very, very good movie that ties in, and you don't even have to be like super versed in Transformers lore to, like, because all I know about Transformers lore is Optimus Prime has been fighting Megatron for a while.
For the
That
One Piece.
yeah, for the One Piece, and then the winner will become the Hokage. But this is
The
basic.
Robokage.
Yes, the Robokage, and this trailer or this movie is a good prelude to all of that. Like this is the story of how they got to that point, and it's played very well. I was apprehensive about some of the. Okay, there's one voice casting in this movie I'm still not sure on, and I'm not. I don't think this is. I don't like giving spoilers, but spoiling who voices a certain character, I don't think is a spoiler.
Oh, okay.
Starscream is in the movie. You know who voices Starscream?
Who?
Steve Buscemi.
I'm in.
It it doesn't sound bad, and that's kind of what's weird about it. It's not Starscream, but it's not awful. It kind of sounds right.
Hello, fellow robots.
Yes, hello, my fellow robots. I am the king of the Decepticons. Shut up, Starscream. Oh no, I am a bitch. But no, like that aside, I'm happy I saw this movie, and I was torn between seeing it or Beetlejuice. And considering timing, I was like, I'll go see this one. I still want to see the new Beetlejuice. I've heard good things. Like,
Yes, as have I with Deadpool.
oh, Deadpool's coming to streaming on, oh god, in like 2 weeks, huh?
Oh,
Oh,
really? Is it?
yeah, it's going to Disney Plus on the first. Last I checked.
Excellent. That's right before my membership falls out.
Perfect. Yeah, watch that, and also if you haven't yet, Werewolf by Night, because Werewolf by Night is fucking awesome.
Well, what is it by day?
Not a werewolf.
Oh, okay, yeah, that is canon, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, Werewolf by Night is, I guess, to really touch on that. They're Marvel. I guess instead of doing movies for some of the characters, are doing shorts, like little 30-minute specials to introduce other side characters that they can't quite do a full movie on.
Interesting.
I'm kind of for it because realistically, when you watch Werewolf by Night and realize like what everything is done, could you do a movie around this? Probably not. So it existing as its own little short that just celebrates all these like 50s horror movies, do it and watch it in black and white. The color version is out. Watch it in its original black and white that it was released in.
Now, am I to believe that this Werewolf by Night movie is a different movie from Night Bitch with Amy Adams?
It is a different thing. We talked about Night Bitch last week. I don't know how to feel about that fucking movie.
I don't either. I don't know what's happening. The trailer makes it seem like maybe something's happening, but it might also just be in her mind.
Is she turning into a dog or is she just schizophrenic? What's going on here?
It's yeah, 100%. I'm leaning toward the latter.
But yeah, but it's for recent stuff. Transformers One, and I don't want to go into spoilers about it. If you have the ability, definitely go see it in theaters. It is a very I, I don't know where I would place it. I think Griffin mentioned this to me when we saw it, but I kind of agree with him. Definitely top three, maybe top two Transformers movies, even if you include the live. Well, actually, you know what? No, if we're including the live action, this is definitely top three. Like because
Really?
yeah, well, if we're sticking to animation, it's not as good as like Transformers the movie from the fucking 80s. But then again, what is? But it's still very
Very jelly.
good. And if you include the live action, so I have a weird view of the live action movies. I acknowledge a lot of them aren't good, but I love watching a lot of them. But to me, Bumblebee and Rise of the Beasts are, to some degree, good. Incidentally, they're the ones Michael Bay didn't direct, but that's beside the point.
Are they better or worse than Borderlands?
I haven't seen Borderlands, but based off of reviews, so much fucking better.
Sam, you haven't seen Borderlands? Well, good news for you. They keep uploading it on YouTube and they don't take it down.
Oh,
I yeah
that.
I
Oh
watched
no.
Border. Yeah, that's how bad it is.
Please watch our movie. We won't report you.
Legitimately, yeah. There is I guarantee you more people saw Borderlands on YouTube than they saw it in theaters.
That's
I
fucking
wonder.
sad.
I'm gonna look it up to see if they have the full movie again because it came up multiple times in my feed, separate iterations of the full Borderlands movie. Uh, and like the last time I saw it, it had been up for 6 full days and already had 500,000 views.
Well, you talk about the Borderlands movie. That's a good way to segue into our main topic from console to silver screen, talking about just video game movies. I wanted to go at this from an angle of just like celebrating them because in recent times, like it's easy to point out bad video game movies. It is. But recently, there have been very good ones, barring Borderlands. But the two that immediately come to mind that I want to talk about because one that actually no, they both neither of them get enough praise. I don't think. Rampage and World of Warcraft.
Okay.
Rampage. So I remember. I don't know if you remember the GameCube game we had for
Yes.
and like the one that actually tried to add a pseudo story to Rampage because before there really wasn't a story. Just a chemical made the big monster destroy city,
Yes.
and it at least tried to add something of substance. So I thought at least they would at least do something to that end, and in some ways they did, but they didn't really have to a lot to base it off of. But that being said, god damn it, is that a fun movie to watch?
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, the guy who plays fucking a Negan from Walking Dead plays a government agent that is basically the point of contact for the Rock's character. He chews up scenery like a motherfucker. Oh my god. He he also like the movie has so many crude jokes, and they actually gave George his personality and this banter with the Rock's character, which it you're not gonna get a fucking high quality Silence of the Lambs fucking Citizen Kane style movie here. You're gonna get the big monkey versus big lizard versus big wolf featuring The Rock, and like for what it is, it's very fun. This bad characters are gonna get their comeuppance. They're gonna fucking get it all right. This monster fight's gonna be a spectacle. You're damn right it is. The Rock is gonna flex his pecs and shoot a grenade launcher at something. You're damn right he is. Like you're
What
in
are
it.
we paying him for?
Yeah, you're in it for something very specific, and the movie delivers that and more. And considering there's not much story to that kind of game previously, it's like a game based off monsters destroying a city, and for the most part, it's humans fighting monsters as they work their way to a city in which they destroy. Like, what did they do wrong exactly? That seems like the perfect like.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's I think it doesn't get praised because if you have movies like Mario and Sonic that do take the formula and there is a story to it that the fans pay attention to, or you have like Detective Pikachu that everyone disagrees, like, oh no, these are fucking great. But so that one I kind of understand. The one that I think fans are way too fucking hard on because like the few people I've read complain about, why wasn't this character in the movie? I'll tell you they did wrong. No sequel. You're right, Griffin. But like the World of Warcraft movie, I don't know what happened for people just to kind of forget about this movie, but I rewatched it. Uh, throughout the week. Throughout the week, I just dedicated time on like Tuesday or some shit. It's still good.
Yeah.
Like,
I also I enjoyed the World of Warcraft movie. Now, I know why it was like you kind of have to play at least a little bit of World of Warcraft or be at least passingly interested in the lore for World of Warcraft, I think, for it to be a more cogent film, because I think there was a pretty high what's the word I'm searching for? A high bell curve on people that uh would be able to access it, like some like 50-year-old person with kids that's never played the game that's just taking their kids to see a movie that looks passively interesting. They might not be as invested in it as somebody like me who has literally dedicated months of his life end to end in World of Warcraft.
well, that's that. Okay, you know what? That is fair because unlike other video game properties, two that come to mind, Mario Brothers and Arcane, both of those movies have one thing, or both those one that show in that movie have one thing in common. You don't really have to have played a previous Mario game, or you don't really have to have played League of Legends to enjoy the series and movie. It's just
Yeah.
if you did, it enhances it because before they made a good movie or a good series, before they made a good video game movie for series, they made a good movie and they made a good series. Like even if Arcane wasn't based around League of Legends, if they had those same characters and on a very similar kind of path, just didn't have all the ties to League of Legends, still would have been a good story.
Yeah.
Like,
They truthfully I think, and they're probably not going to do this, but what I wish would have happened is that they did a World of Warcraft movie around Arthas's story, the Lich King.
yeah, I feel like that's what they were hoping for. Like, 100% because of when it came out. I think they were trying to bank in on things like Game of Thrones and Narnia and all like The Hobbit and shit. But I wouldn't be surprised if they had a plan to just eventually do the big story beats, all culminating in a Thanos style battle against the Lich King, where you get to deal with Arthas and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Horde assemble.
Yes, but nowadays I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's not just the movie side of it. Blizzard, cough, cough, nudge, nudge. But
Right. If only they just let the people who did the cinematics for the game create the movie.
oh, 100%. One of my favorite, like as much as that song pains me, I explained last time that fucking the Frozen "Let It Go" song puts me in fight or flight every time I fucking hear it.
You're talking about the Build a Snowman song, of course.
No, no, not that one. It's literally just "Let It Go" because I'll tell you the story too. When I worked for the school district, my coworker, whenever we had to test the projectors in the classrooms, we could only play certain music because it's a
Yeah.
school, which makes sense. I don't mind. Like I figured he was just gonna do something sensible, like play oldies or some shit, or or even just classical like orchestral stuff. But for
Right.
some fucking reason, every single time he had to test the thing, his go-to song was "Let It Go." For 5 fucking years, I had to listen to "Let It Go" on like sometimes I missed it in a day. Sometimes I heard like 3 or 4 times a day. I am so sick of that song.
Yikes! Why would he do that?
I have no. It didn't bother him, but I told him like, pick something different, dude.
Please, please.
Like,
It's been in every single store I've been in for the past 10 years.
so yeah, as much as that song hurts me, I will acknowledge like one of my favorite like little things the internet has done to this World of Warcraft cinematics is they timed the cinematic for Wrath of the Lich King to "Let It Go." Holy shit!
No, no, leave it alone. Leave Arthas alone.
That's right, Wrath of the Lich King. Let it go. All right, go forth into the internet. Ruin yourselves. Ruin both things.
Why?
uh, oh yes, but
Why would they do this? Is it my turn?
Oh, go for it, dude. Yeah, I know I talk a lot, but
Okay, well, as far as video game movies that have made it to the silver screen, I think the top and often very overlooked is the original Silent Hill film.
ooh, you know what? Yeah,
It was incredibly creepy. The atmosphere was intense. Now, obviously, it wasn't 100% canon to the events of the original Silent Hill games or what their underlying message was, what the underlying story was, what the metaphors were, all that fun stuff. But they got the atmosphere of Silent Hill down to a T. At least especially for the time, because that was mid to early 2000s that movie came out, and they were able to pull off a really eerie atmosphere everywhere in that movie. And Pyramid Head was truly terrifying every time they had him in there. The practical effects were intense, and the place that it left you off at the end of that movie, it was there was no true resolution. It just they ended the movie making you feel like, oh my god, they're just stuck there. They think they're
yeah.
free, but they're not.
I respect that movie for that specifically, just committing to that depressing ending.
100%. And the worst thing that happened about that is that one, it's not talked about nearly enough, but two, that the sequel to that movie looked more like the 12th or 13th sequel to a Hellraiser movie.
See, I keep trying to purge the sequel from my memory because I have seen the first one. I liked it. Um, I just don't have that big of a connection to Silent Hill. But I the biggest
Oh
point of
yeah, me
yeah,
neither. I didn't play the Silent Hill games. I just thought that it looked like it, I was knowing that at the time really the only video game movies were things like the original Super Mario movie that was like, what is this? Now, there is a special place in my heart for that Super Mario movie because it is ridiculous, but I still enjoy it for what it is. But as far as accuracy to the video games, at least in the way that it makes you feel, not even close to as good as what happened with Silent Hill. And I think the Doom movie came out around the same time too, and the Doom movie was just awkward.
so
Um,
so the one part of the Doom movie I remember was that first person bit at the end, but I think that was kind of
yeah,
intentional.
yeah, no, and they sold that so hard leading up to the movie being released, and it ended up being just like this 10-minute thing, maybe tops, and it was cool. Like I was like, yeah, this is first person. I'm playing a video game right now,
I mean, if
but I'm not
Hardcore
just
Henry has
watching a
taught
movie.
us anything, is you can do a movie in fucking first person.
True. Yeah, that's how a camera works.
Yeah.
It's funny. I knew some people I used to live with. We one Halloween they're like, let's watch the Silent Hill movie. I was like, yeah, let's do that. And then they pulled up the sequel, and I was like, what are we doing? And they're like, we're watching Silent Hill. I'm like, this isn't the Silent Hill movie. And they're like, yeah, it is. Look, I'm like, oh no, something terrible has happened. This isn't the original Silent Hill movie. And they're like, there's an original Silent Hill movie. I'm like, you have no idea what you're missing. You're gonna be so mad when I will let you watch this movie. So we get through that movie. A few days later, I'm like, okay, here's the real Silent Hill movie. They get through it. They're like, I'm so angry that this wasn't the first movie that I saw. And I was like, I told you you're gonna be mad. Don't be mad at me.
You played yourself.
100%. They definitely play themselves. But yeah, go out watch the Silent Hill movie if you've never seen it. It's a great Halloween watch. It's a great video game Halloween watch.
Oh yeah.
And aside from that, like video game movies coming to mind. You mentioned Detective Pikachu. That's another one that I legitimately enjoyed quite a bit because there's 1,000 different ways that you can mess up uh, a IRL Pokemon animation, and they didn't do any of them.
And I want to tell you something about this. It's a fact I learned about Detective Pikachu specifically. that made me sad, and I have to. It makes me sad, but also makes me kind of happy. Mostly sad, but but do you know why Professor Oak wasn't in that movie?
Why?
So Nintendo released a statement about that. And if Griffin's still watching, you know what I'm about to say, and I have to tell the world if they don't know. Uh, Nintendo said that they are not going to put Professor Oak in Detective Pikachu because in their in Nintendo's mind, the first and only person who could ever play Professor Oak in a live action was Robin Williams.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on one hand, I'm like, that's fucking awesome. I love the dedication, but then I thought, about, oh no, why you gotta?
Robin, why?
Yeah, it's like, damn it. Oh, Robin,
We could have had a Robin Williams Professor Oak.
Robin Williams, are you a boy or a girl?
Oh, you're a Bulbasaur.
uh, that's right, Griffin. I make you the big sad. I have to espouse that fact. I have to.
I'm
Like,
glad I know that. I'm also sad that I know that. Why'd you do that to me?
because if I have to know something terrible and awkward, I have to share it. So maybe it might lessen the pain.
So I had to look up just and I know this is cheating, but I had to just Google video game movies. Did you know that there was a Far Cry movie?
No, I knew there was an Uncharted movie, but not a Far Cry
There
movie.
there's a Far Cry movie that came out in 2008
The fuck?
and it has a 12% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, well,
Oh. But it has a guy from that was in he's been in other really big he was in Inglorious Bastards. Like he's been in other really big movies. There's a couple people that have been really big movies that were in that movie. Uh and it came out in 2008, but yeah, apparently it was not good. It was very very not good.
yeah. And don't worry about cheating. I'm also kind of cheating. I looked at the same thing you did. Ooh, there's one video game movie I want to see that I'm probably gonna try to watch it this time. Because every December I'm gonna try to get a free trial of Apple TV. I'm not
Okay.
paying for that shit. I'm sorry, I'm not. I tried paying for it for like a month, and like, all right, I paid for a month, full access to Apple TV. Hey, look, here's a movie that was added to a few months ago. Oh, sorry, still got to pay an extra $9.99 to watch this, and go fuck yourself. It's like, but there's one movie that I now know I could watch for free, but like the it's the Tetris movie on Apple TV.
Oh,
Have
you
you?
sure don't want to watch Far Cry on Fubo?
Not on Fubo. If it's on Tubi, I'll watch it because Tubi's fucking awesome. Please say you have Tubi, and if you don't, oh my god. The,
I'm sure I do somewhere tucked deep in my television apps.
it is like the best of like the all the of the worst free stuff. Like one of the first episodes we did on the podcast was about a Charles Band, the guy who made Puppet Master.
No, yeah,
Almost all of his movies are on Tubi.
of course they are.
Uh, that's the quality you're getting. If it was like too bad for even the Sci-Fi Channel,
Oh my god!
or something that's good, but the creator just doesn't really give a shit and just throws it everywhere, it's on Tubi.
Wow.
Like there's but I could recommend you things to watch on Tubi, but I don't want to go too far. But to keep it on video game movies, uh, one thing I'd want to ask you,
Yes.
Kitty Man, and I had this kind of idea. Blix and our last guest, kind of agreed. Every generation, or every decade or two, has like a theme, or just kind of a prevailing just style of movie that just dominates the mainstream. Like the '80s, it was clearly like slasher movies and horror movies. In
Right.
like the past like 2 decades, it was superhero movies. Before, like I would say '90s was dominated by like action and sci-fi more so than anything. Uh, But I think that either video game movies or just or more broader category nerd movies, I want to call it, or just out of just adaptations of just old properties or just game properties or book properties, whatever.
Yes.
I think that's the next big wave that's hitting us. What do you think?
Excellent, and as it should be. Yes, I agree. We need more. We need better. We need Super Alfred Chicken the movie.
Super. I, I mean, there's some that are happening. They're just so off the wall, but I think the success of Mario and Sonic, the fact that Rampage did fine, even World of Warcraft, as far back, even though people kind of dismissed it, it pulled its numbers from what I understand. Like,
Mostly in China,
yeah,
unfortunately.
definitely in China. But I think people are saying like, oh, hey, like, video game movies are just accurate depictions of like the thing nerds love seems to be doing well. Like, I truly believe that filmmakers in Hollywood are taking note of how much of an impact One Piece and Godzilla minus one have had, and for the fans. And I know like those are like two of my biggest interests, but like
Would you loop in Godzilla with the video game movie?
not necessarily video game movies, but like the effect it had. Like I think one trend going forward, because Godzilla was made for not a lot of money, and One Piece was made under heavy influence from Oda. Like Oda and his team were there like the entire time on season one, and
Yeah,
everyone agrees like it broke the curse. Like we have a series of just like, oh, this is pretty damn good. It ain't perfect,
nice.
but it's good. And I think the message those two movies are giving, combined with the success of recent video game movies like Mario and Sonic, uh, Borderlands withholding from that, is actually, you know what, even Borderlands, because that movie was definitely not made like with input from the fans. From the few people I know who saw it, said that there is so little of what makes the games fun in that movie. Uh,
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Is I'm worried that Borderlands and what I'm anticipating that the negative talk about the Minecraft movie might ruin a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe Minecraft is just like One Piece, where it's got too powerful a hold on Gen Z that it can't fail. But maybe I'm wrong. We'll see.
well, One Piece is an interesting spot because in the United States, the most popular animes right now are like there's the modern ones, Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer. But aside from that, the staples that are more popular in America are Dragon Ball Z and Naruto. But One Piece is more popular in Japan. That has
Yeah.
not changed. And until One Piece ends, I don't know if it will. But
Did I tell you I was practice I was at my sumo practice a few weeks ago, and there was a high school student from Japan that was visiting. He was doing like an exchange student thing, and he came to practice with us, and he showed us that that's what he was reading is the most recent copies of One Piece in Japanese. And we were like, oh, we were nerding out pretty hard over that.
oh, fuck yeah, dude. Oh, that's when you take him to Kino Korner to get all the good shit. But
Yeah,
like I think right now we're in an experimental phase. Like we have other video game movies have come out, or movies just about video games have come out.
hmm
Let's see, I just saw one that was not necessarily a video game movie on its own. Well, actually, even Tetris. That has nothing to do
yeah,
with the Tetris. This is about the making of Tetris. Have you seen the
yeah.
trailer?
Tetris is kind of half about the making of the Game Boy too, right?
Yeah, like this is how they got the rights to Tetris from Russia during Cold War era Russia, and it's almost a spy thriller. And that's kind of cool. Like I welcome movies like that because sometimes it's not so much the game and the stories within the game that are interesting, which a lot of the times it is. But sometimes it is a case like Tetris that like I'm really interested in how this game was made. I want to see the Tetris movie because well, first off, the trailer fucking hooked me. I have found
Yeah.
out recently that I am a sucker for holding out for a hero. Thank you, Shrek 2. God damn it. Like Bullet Train and every other fucking movie that has holding out for a hero is just like God damn it! This movie just went up in my fucking. I am now biased for this movie.
100%. Did you see the? You know what? I'm sorry, I'm getting too off track, but I do want to mention on the line of Shrek that the most recent Puss in Boots movie was surprisingly amazing.
Oh yeah, no, it was absolutely amazing. Like
If not just for what is it? Virtuous Insect, is that what his name was?
vir- virtue.
They couldn't call him Jiminy Cricket, so his official name was something else.
Yeah, like there was a lot of good in that movie. There was a lot of good in that movie.
Oh, it was they called it Ethical Bug.
Ethical book.
That's
Oh,
that's what Jiminy Cricket was in that movie. Was Ethical Bug.
oh,
You're a monster,
so what took you so long?
idiot.
Uh, like I think video game movies. I hope the big takeaway is, and I hope I'm not just being hopeful. I hope this is actually true. That the big takeaway that filmmakers get is, oh, maybe we shouldn't treat these movies like Borderlands and just make all the studios do the big decisions and throw money at it because that didn't do so well. Maybe we
Right.
actually like, and which to me boggles the mind because it makes more fiscal sense anyway. It's like, what if we just spend a more controlled amount of money and let the creator to say this is how much I need to make this work, or make the dedicated fan say this is how much we need to make this work, because then you do get like projects like One Piece, then you do get like stuff like Tetris that like fans are very
Yeah.
receptive to.
The fans will reward you if you just don't fucking fuck their favorite property.
Yeah, I will always say like the first step to making a good video game movie is making a good movie. Like make the writers make a good fucking movie, make the creators tie it as well as they can to work with the right, or make the creators work with the writers and the production team to make it as accurate as possible to their vision of the game. So then you have a good movie accurate to the game. That's it.
Right. Yeah. 100%. And to to uh, to what to what Griffin was saying, they will remake Resident Evil, but instead of it'll be the exact same movie, and instead of Jovovich, it'll be Numi Rapace in the Numi Rapace, however you say her last name, in the exact same role in the exact same type of movie.
And and don't forget Chris Pratt because he's going to be in everything.
Oh yeah, Chris Pratt will voice Nemesis.
Yeah. Oh god.
On that end, is there any video game properties that you know of course, aside from the anime version of Banjo Kazooie, is there any properties that you hope do come to the silver screen, or that you would like them to please not touch because you don't trust them?
So I think there's a lot of potential for Bioshock to be a show or a movie, one of the two.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah, I can see that.
but I would specifically I would only adapt the first game. I do like the second one. I do like the third one, but the story gets a bit weird, and they're already kind of disconnected anyway. Like what we love about Bioshock is from the first game, and God, that game has such a strong opening and wonderful atmosphere. You don't even need a lot of characters. That's the beauty of that.
No, no, of course, and the easiest casting of all, Andrew Ryan. Say it with me: 3, 2, 1. Chris Pratt.
I knew you. I was like, are you trying to make a Chris Pratt joke? Or are you trying?
Andrew Ryan will be played by Chris Pratt, and so will everybody else in that movie.
Would you kindly? But I'm trying to think if there's a game I wouldn't want them to touch with a 10-foot pole in terms of adapting. Actually, you know what? There is. So you know the Last of Us games, and you
Yes,
know the Last of Us show. Uh,
Sam. I hate to tell you this, but they have touched that that video game series very hard with
So
the
I know
tentacle.
that that's not the show I'm talking about, but like I'm using that as a segue because I, the show is good, but I feel like that being good is cheating because the game was already so cinematic anyway. It's almost pointless to make a show.
Yeah, I can see that.
So there's two game series in particular. I'm like, don't even bother. Don't even because they're so cinematic anyway that I you really shouldn't make a show out of it or a movie or anything.
Yeah,
One is Ghost of Tsushima. It's like there's nothing I feel I can get from a movie or show about Ghost of Tsushima that I didn't already get from the game. And to me, the same applies to God of War, which I know they're trying to do something, but I'm sorry, like God of War and God of War Ragnarok to me are like peak in terms of modern gaming. Like,
yeah,
I, it, I don't. There's a lot of games that could do well with, but if a game is already so cinematic and so good at its story medium, if you're going to adapt something, you have to be able to do something different, or at least give something more.
yeah.
And
Well, and I don't want to spoil what may be a future topic of this show, but have you seen the Amazon show that's going to be coming up in December with a bunch of it's like an anthology with a bunch of different video game adaptations in it.
I have, and I am more fine about that than I am about like because again, that's just like an anthology of just adventures within the stories of these games. That's not like it, which realistically, what it is just a series of pilots. That's what it is.
You know, yeah, you're probably right about that. I mean, so out of I'm looking at the list of games right now. Now, which one do you think is going to actually get a full show?
Uh,
I'm imagining Warhammer 40K was probably on the way to getting something regardless, especially with
what's
the
what's the name of the show
success of the video
again?
game. I think it's called Secret Level.
Uh,
So here's the so far on at least on this article is it the it's going to feature Pac-Man, Warhammer 40K, Concord, Mega Man, Unreal Tournament, New World Eternium, Armored Core, Spelunky, never heard of that, Honor of Kings, Sifu, Dungeons and Dragons, The Outer Worlds, Crossfire, Exodus, and some PlayStation characters.
so there's a few I want to knock off of that list right away. Sifu. Well, okay, I don't want to knock off Sifu because that has potential. Outer Worlds and the fucking was it Robotech you said?
Um, Armored Core.
Armored Core. Yeah. So I say this because I'm already part of like a little Armored Core thing I do on Butcherson's channel. Go to twitch.tv/Butcherson for the fight nights. But no. But I that one I'm so on the fence about because I feel if this Gundam series doesn't do well, that's going to be scrapped because if like if they're gonna look at the Gundam series like, oh, if there's no interest in giant robots, are we going to do something around Armored Core, man? But no, I really think that's what it is. I think Warhammer 40K has a lot of potential because
Yeah.
because holy shit, like
Yes.
you could do so many series and so many movies in the Warhammer 40K universe and never run out.
This is true. And you know what I fear we're about to see is a lot of the success that I wish that Warcraft had in the Warhammer universe.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. So
How dare you? Move on.
I know, right? Let's see. There we go. Finally, I put up a list where I didn't have to disable my fucking ad blocker to look at it. Uh, I think Unreal Tournament has potential. I don't know a lot about Unreal Tournament, but this is one of those things where literally everyone in my friend group loves it. So I'm just like, I guess it's something.
Yeah, Unreal Tournament reminds me of kind of a mix between Warhammer and Gears of War, let's say,
yeah.
and Doom, I guess.
Uh, yeah. There's nothing on this list that I could say out of the gate will work because it's all kind of dependent on just presentation.
Yeah,
Because each one has to do something very different. Like
yeah,
Mega Man, that could work, but if they have to do at least something that's more of like a family thing, but
yeah.
Concord could work if they don't make their game again. But Warhammer could work if they make it as adult and bloody and just fucked up as the series is. Uh,
And
Seafood,
Jim Carrey could be Dr. Wily.
hell yeah. I, fucking Jim Carrey. I swear, Jim Carrey retires from acting as much as Hayao Miyazaki retires from animating.
No, for real this time. He's really going to put himself in the sarcophagus that he made for himself years ago.
Griffith says, "I also hope Nintendo can apply the creative control they did with Mario for Legend of Zelda movie. Like to imagine Miyamoto just smacking Sony execs with a rolled up newspaper whenever they bring up any stupid
No,
idea."
stop it.
Oh, what if we cast Chris Pratt as Ganon? No,
No, stop it. No. Chris Pratt, you go right back in that box and you get delivered back to wherever you came.
Shut up, Chris Pratt. You're gonna be Tinkle and you're gonna like it. like I think it's pretty much assured we're gonna get a. I think it was even announced we're gonna get a Legend of Zelda something. Also, mini tangent. I don't know why I keep going back to this whenever I look up old like trailers and stuff. You know that I know you played more Legend of Zelda than I have. Before I moved
Yes.
before I moved here, the only Legend of Zelda game I could honestly say I beat to like completely beat was Oracle of Seasons. It's one I liked,
Yes.
so I didn't have much of a connection to Zelda. The Japanese trailer for Breath of the Wild is still the best goddamn game trailer I have ever fucking seen.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Breath of the Wild was one of the best games I've ever played for the Zelda series.
It's like, and if you're watching this and you don't believe me, look up Breath of the Wild Japanese trailer. It has to be the Japanese one. People are now starting to point it out too, but like the voice actress they got for Zelda, like there's a point in the trailer where she has to cry, and the American voice actress just doesn't really convey it that well. It takes you, yeah.
I'm really I'm really upset right now that there's no Zelda uh sounds in this sound bank so that I can't interrupt you with a Zelda or a Link. Yeah.
Indeed.
Okay. All right.
I have my own soundboard, don't you worry. Oh, actually, this is more accurate to your disappointment.
Sucks to be you.
It really does.
Oh, yeah.
You just wait. I have so many stupid sounds that I'll just I'm gonna keep in my back pocket,
Yeah.
but when you least expect it.
I don't want to go too far. Griffin knows what I have access to, and let's just say most of them are not uh, stream appropriate. Oh, this one's fun.
Oh God!
All right.
Why did I even say anything?
You
You know
did
what?
this.
Honestly, that's not as bad as the damn knock. Have you gotten the knock before?
The knock, maybe.
Yeah. Like it's not fun. It'll scare you.
Oh wait, yeah. No, I've gotten that one. Yeah, I hate it.
They'll do that. We'll be in the middle of a raid in World of Warcraft. And everybody's super intense. I'm sitting in a very dark room, and then I'll hear that. I go, "Oh my God, who's at my window?"
I know people who've used that. I used it on me once. I hate it. Because
It scares the shit out of me every time. Like I'm in this house alone right now. I cannot. My heart can't take this.
uh, but I guess final words on video game movies. I can't think of anything else I wouldn't really want to. Any video games I wouldn't want to adapt. I know Bioshock's out of my list of video games I would want to see adapted. I think the game needs a little bit more love in terms of just like style. But if we're gonna restrict that question to just really out there games or just weird games we had growing up and shit, fuck.
You know what? Honestly, like if you ask me, I say Hollywood's really good at making animated animal films. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Why not Star Fox?
Okay, I had a similar thing because it was around a fox. You know, I would be totally down for just a G-rated kids movie around fucking Spy Fox.
Oh yeah, Spy Fox wouldn't be bad.
Like,
And
I,
you heard they're about to be redoing Backyard Baseball.
backyard baseball. Yeah, no, but yeah, I'm interested to see it. I actually found a shitty emulator for backyard football recently,
Yes.
and I remembered, oh, this game is obnoxiously easy.
It's oh wait, 100%. Did you see Meat Canyon do a whole campaign in Backyard Baseball?
No,
It's so great.
like
It's so much fun.
if you get certain players in in backyard football or backyard baseball, you have to try not to lose. You have to try to lose.
Yes. Yeah, what you 100% do. Backyard Baseball I think is still somewhat challenging, but
Yeah,
definitely check out Meat Canyon's whole replay of and yeah, Griffin, I was about to say the exact same thing. Was Metroid is the other thing that I was going to suggest. I feel like that would be a fun one. But you really have to do it right with and try your best. It's going to be hard to escape, but everybody's going to call you woke for it just because
yeah.
there's a woman playing
That
somebody.
it really, yeah, that one is a tread lightly kind of series. If they were to follow anything, I'm trying to think of like what series. Metroid Prime is a good candidate, but
I mean, with Metroid to because I mean, there's a select few. I mean, like even the people that played it I feel like there is smaller than you might think it is.
mhm,
It's a beloved and really good property and really good series. Metroid Prime was one of the best games that ever came out on the GameCube.
yeah.
Um, but I really think that if you're going to do something like make a straight to TV movie or even an actual feature film, you would have to do a lot of explaining for the audience and make it cogent in that sense that they have to understand everything that's happening. Or you do like what the original movies did, is just keep Samus silent the
So
entire film and then end it with her being a woman.
so keep her silent or keep her voice to a minimum. But I can't think of a way they would do it without either it just being her or it being her and whoever's on the other end of the radio. Because I also remember Metroid Fusion, and every once in a while you would have conversations with the guy on the other end of the radio named Adam, and that's probably the most like just to because it's a movie and keep people talking. That's probably the angle they would do. I to see if that kind of thing would work. I would want. There is a movie coming out. I don't know when. I'm gonna have to look. It's Markiplier's movie for Iron Lung
Yeah, Iron Lung.
because that's gonna operate the same way. There's not gonna be a lot of characters at all. If Markiplier can do that and make it seem good, I think at least a portion of Metroid would follow suit with that style, just be more action oriented. Like so,
Yes.
I want to see that kind of thing first before I make a judgment call on Metroid because there's a lot of mud and whether or not that one could be a movie when you get down to the specifics. Like,
Yeah, no, I can see that. And then if he manages to do the Iron Lung one well, Then he could do what's some other Steam games that he could possibly. We'll say he'll be the one who gets to do the Valheim movie, or what else? What else? Oh, I know. The name of it is escaping me right now. Bennett Foddy. You know what I'm talking about.
Getting over it.
Yeah, Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That's
fuck no.
he'll do the Getting Over It movie. It'll be the most frustrating 7 hours you'll ever spend in a theater.
Make it an interactive movie where the audience has to get the actor.
Everybody's just cursing their head off.
I wonder how far it would get for like a Twitch plays of Getting Over It.
Oh my god. You know what? And that reminds me. This is now that we're talking about Steam, I will once again say for your audience and just for you, please play The Messenger on Steam and then play Sea of Stars. They are good games.
There's lots of good games on Steam. I'm looking
No,
at
but these are the best ones and they're the only ones you should play. And then follow Sabotage Studio on everything that you can follow them on for the following games that come out later.
I'm looking through Steam right now, seeing if there's any like Steam exclusive games I haven't been thinking of that could totally be a movie or show.
Sea of Thieves.
Oh, 100%. Like that one has to be a CG movie. I'm sorry, like they have to keep to their style of pirates they've made.
Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
You haven't played it yet, have you?
Nope. I got it. A Hoonie Pot movie.
There was a did you ever play Blasphemous?
No. Ooh. Oh, this one would be a really good horror movie. Labyrinthine.
That sounds like a really good horror movie. And then they could do Helldivers 2 without releasing a Helldivers 1.
Hell yeah.
And then restrict access to the movie to only PlayStation players.
uh, I am always down for my any survival game I have played recently to get some sort of movie or show adaptation. I'm still excited to see it. Ark, even though I'm so burned out of Ark right now. I'm still burned out of Ark.
You know what I'm burned out of?
Hmm.
Life.
I'm burned out of this bullshit.
I'm over it. It's Sunday. Tomorrow's Monday. Everything's coming grinding to a halt.
I might have to replay The Wolf Among Us on stream, and maybe the third time I fucking play it, I actually remember what it means to glass somebody.
That sounds terrifying.
There's a dialogue option where the wolf is talking to the huntsman, and it's actually a fairly like calm conversation with all things considered at the time. And I'm trying to, I always try to be like, I'm trying to be the good guy here, trying to do the route. And the options are like raise your voice, glass him, or something else. And when I see glass him, even if I know beforehand, I always think, oh, that must mean just pour him an extra shot of whiskey and be friendly.
Of course.
No. It's literally take his glass and smash it in his face.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm just like, yeah, you're my buddy. You're my buddy. Go fuck yourself. Just every time I play, I'm like, God damn it. I fuck up every time. But
That's so funny.
Well, maybe we'll get the Uno movie. It's just the creator, like, guys, you're only supposed to draw one.
just silently stands there on the other side of a table, and he just goes Uno, and that's the movie.
A Beetle Adventure racing movie. We already got
Beetle
that.
Adventure.
It's Turbo about the snail racers, except Beetles.
Trombone Hero.
Oh fuck yeah, the Trombone Hero movie.
You know, if we're being real, probably a God of War series.
Yeah.
Probably. What's another? Honestly, if they made a Hi-Fi Rush movie, the way that they did the game was awesome. I really enjoyed it.
Make an Overlord series, you cowards.
Yeah.
I have I don't know why this series just flips everyone's fucking minds on games because I have seen a few reviews on Overlord. I understood on my first playthrough, oh, this is literally just I'm the bad guy and I'm gonna wreck shit. Lol 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 lol. Because like
lol, 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 you're dead. Lol, 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 lol.
it's like, oh, we got to deal with the halflings. Time to steal all their food and burn all their houses down. I guess. It's like you're not. And everyone's like, oh, I don't get it. Like, what's yeah, exactly. And I've seen so many reviews, and I'm just like, I don't get this game. Like, he just runs around bashing shit, but like, why does he have to be the bad guy? It's like,
'Cause this is the point of the game.
I just look at people like you're kind of stupid, ain't you? I the literally the point of Overlord is an escapist fantasy about you're an evil overlord. That's it.
Yeah, that's literally you are Sauron.
You are Sauron. Now go kick those pesky humans who are trying to drink your beer. Or Overlord 2, where like a bunch of like when you're like a young overlord, the new overlord, and all these kids are mean to you and you call you funny names. So you respond appropriately by blowing up their their little snow fortress with fireworks and potentially murdering three of them.
Is that really the premise of Overlord 2?
That's how it starts.
I'm game. I'm so back.
Overlord 2 is like literally years after there's a new overlord, and this time there's like a Greek like style civilization that's trying to just ban magic and just capture all the magical creatures, so it's just human civilization. And you're just like, lol, that's cute.
Oh wow.
Uh, I think with that, it's a good point to wrap things up with.
Well, and I appreciate you for having me. Everybody out there, I will again recommend that you go to YouTube and watch the trailer for Popeye with Will Smith.
Yeah, before you go, Robert, and I don't know if you saw my other. Like I said, at the end we have the Almighty Wheel. You see, the Almighty Wheel is how we decide topics for the next episode. Uh, I don't know if you see it on screen. I'll read through. They say I will spin this wheel. There's a few options. We have guilty pleasures, 80s horror, dinosaurs. It's up to us to figure out what that means. What the fuck did I just watch? Hand drawn Disney films, sequels, and since video games was today's topic, what knocked that off was based on a true story. The last slot is called the guest decides. So if it lands there, you get to.
I get to be the one who says what the next
Correct, but
episode is about.
I'm limiting your selection to the other 7 on this list.
Hold the absolute fucking phone here. That's not the rule that you just laid out.
I said was the that's what I just said. The
I
rule.
am an agent of chaos. You invited me to this show. You knew what you were getting yourself into.
No.
If that is what fate has in store for you, then that is what fate has in store for you.
Well, now
you have to abide by the wheel. Wheel of
Oh.
morality, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the lesson that we should learn.
All right, let's do this. All right, wheel is spinning, and it's recorded. So if I'm bullshitting you, there will be evidence. It's not rigged, I swear.
Oh please! Oh please! Oh come on!
Dinosaurs, yes. Oh, thank you, wheel. Oh, thank you, wheel.
You win this time. That's going to be a fun one. The world of dinosaurs. I've been watching in on. There's a lot of really great YouTube channels for what is happening currently in today in contemporary paleontology. It's fascinating.
Well, and not just with modern dinosaurs. We could talk about like how accurate or inaccurate Jurassic Park was. I could talk about old school dinosaurs, the new dinosaur movies. How there was the script, the premise leaked, or not the script, the synopsis. That's what it is. The synopsis leaked for the new Jurassic Park movie, and the internet like unanimously went, "Huh."
Yeah. Well, then on that note, go ahead and for those viewing or listening at home, look up the dinosaur Anurognatkus. Anurognatthus. And Anurognatthus.
Yep, that's your homework. Look
That's
up
that's your dinosaur homework. It's
That's
a
your-
fun little dinosaur that I wish I could have as a pet.
and you're Ognathus. All right, I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna try to post a link to a wiki about it or something in the description.
Absolutely. I really hope everybody enjoys that. And again, thank you again for having me on. This was a lot of fun,
Yeah.
and I hope that my butt soon gets to warm the chair that is reserved.
Yes. Indeed. Next time we'll see who will join me. It might just be me. Might have a guest. Time will tell. All right. Thank you all for watching.
Bye.